Lots of comments on the hashtag F24 debate, including this one from Sue. What saddens me greatly is women hating on women, girls hating on girls. We know how online abuse, hatred, bigotry, and harassment feels. So let's not do it to others. Be kind, be gentle, be nice. Aurélie Garnier-Brun, have you witnessed experiences of online hate of women against women?
Of course, it's also linked to what we call internalized sexism, where the norms of sexism are also perpetrated by girls and women. So as we are in a sexist society, of course, we are all sexist, including women. What we see the most, since we focus on intimate partner violence, especially amongst young people, is the amount of young women who experience cyber violence in their violent relationships. In France, we say that 9 women out of 10 who suffers from partner violence also suffers from at least one form of cyber violence. And it's not only a new form of violence, the cyberspace is also a whole new space, a whole new medium for violent partners to maintain this domination, to maintain this violence. And for example, we have our online chat available at commentsem.fr, where we help young women that come to us. And I recall once I was chatting with this woman. She was in a relationship with a man. They were not living together. They were having a long distance relationship. He wasn't even in the city she was living in, but he was constantly harassing her by calls, texts, threatening her if she would not answer by the minute, threatening her family. He would give her calls in the middle of the night, and she always had to answer. And she had the same psychological effects, same traumas as women who were experiencing violence with their partner in their homes. It's just a new way of intruding a victim's life, of exerting this domination, this violence. And working a lot with young women, I guess what we see a lot also is a lot of victim blaming. And I think when we think about cyber violence, we also need to think about our attitude concerning these violences. For example, we tend to think a lot that young women are responsible for the cyber violence they can live because they should not have posted that nude, or they should not be on Instagram. But this kind of reaction is basically saying to a girl it's her fault she was harassed in the street because she was wearing a skirt. This is not the message we should send to young women now. We should educate them on their rights. We should educate them on what they can do if they experience this violence. We should break the taboo. We should break the shame that makes them so afraid to speak out. This is a lot of things we have to do. And with our organization, we do a lot of sensitizations in schools, among professionals such as teachers, the police, and it's really a lot about education and also breaking the myth that online violence is not real violence. The people experiencing this violence are real, and the effects of cyber violence are real, and also the punishments for cyber violence are real because they exist.
So what Aurélie, give us a tip here. What if you're a young woman or a teenage girl? At what point should alarm bells go off?
As soon as you don't feel safe or respected, and it can come very early. I recall, for example, last week I was on the chat chatting with another young woman, and she was telling me that she was seeing this guy, and she had stopped answering. And kind of as a threat, forcing her to answer, he had sent her the nudes that she had sent him previously. So it was kind of a leverage for this man to kind of put pressure on the woman and on the relationship. And she felt very uncomfortable, but she didn't know if she could talk to the police or thinking about a judiciary response because the threat had not been formulated yet. Yet he has no right to share intimate images of her without her consent. So as soon as someone's consent is not respected, you can talk about it. And really, what we see is young women who are so afraid because they think that if those images, for example, leak on the internet, their social life is over, their professional life is over. And really, we need to break the shame, break the taboo, and they have to break their isolation and come talk to friends, professionals. We need to also learn how to react better to those testimonies because they're crucial for help.